Dalia, Dalia, are you awake? I asked as I cautiously made my way to the light switch. I turned quickly when I heard the sounds coming from Dalia's bed. Without a doubt, this is the most terrifying thing that has happened to me. Since then, there hasn't been a single night when I can sleep peacefully. 2 years ago I moved to Granada to attend university. I quickly found an apartment for rent. It was actually very nice, although it was in a somewhat dangerous area, and I think that's why it was so affordable. At first it was hard to adapt. After all, it was the first time I would live alone and in a city where I didn't know anyone. Fortunately, shortly after I became friends with Dalia, a very nice girl who was in one of my classes. We both agreed to share the flat. That way we would save some money. One Friday night I took advantage of being free and decided to go out with other friends. I remember insisting that Dalia come with us, but she always refused, because the next day she had an exam very early. Realizing it would be useless to convince her to come, I finally left, promising Dalia I would return early, which, by the way, I did not do. It was past 3 in the morning when I returned to the apartment. I entered quietly and found myself in total darkness. Dalia and I slept in the same room, so I walked slowly, trying to make as little noise as possible. I didn't want to disturb her. As I entered our room, I suddenly remembered that a friend would come the next day for some books I was going to lend her. I regretted forgetting to get them. As I passed by Dalia's bed, I heard murmurs and noticed some movement. I thought she was awake. So silly as it sounds, it was a relief to know I could turn on the light to find the books quickly and leave them within reach. Dalia, Dalia, are you awake? I asked as I cautiously made my way to the light switch. I turned quickly when I heard the sounds coming from Dalia's bed. Immediately the idea came to my mind that she had invited her boyfriend, taking advantage of the fact that I wasn't going to be home. Very embarrassed at having discovered them, I decided that it definitely wasn't a good idea to turn on the light. So I quickly turned around, lay down and covered my entire body with a sheet, giving my back to Dalia's bed. Then there were a few knocks on the wall, followed by footsteps that sounded increasingly distant and ceased after I heard the sound of the front door. Not knowing what to do, I made an effort to fall asleep, which I managed after several minutes. When I woke up, I immediately noticed a very strong smell of blood. That's when I saw her. Dalia lay on her bed completely dismembered. Her head and other limbs had been cut off. The sheets were completely stained with blood, as was the floor. In fact, everything was bloody. It looked like a slaughterhouse. It's the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. When I turned to the wall against which Dalia's bed was leaning, it was written in blood. Be thankful you didn't turn on the light.